Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just how they run their program. Just with the details and the discipline that Coach Smart brings to the university, running like a pro-type program. So just a lot of guys kind of buy into that culture because they see what it does in the league and they see the success that people have with it. So just being able to buy into that culture in my 3 years there, just learn from the guys that were there, but also came before me as well. I think that translated a lot too. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't even know how to explain it if I'm being honest. Just to be able to learn and just go be a sponge from guys who have so much knowledge about the game of football. I feel like I'm a student of the game of football, so just being able to learn and soak up, everything from guys that know a lot. And I'm ready to get to work.
Malaki, you were a stud at Jefferson High School back in Georgia. How did your mentality in high school prepare you for going to University of Smart?
I think just that mentality of betting on myself. Like you said, like Jefferson's a small place. Like a lot of people don't know where it's at. I'm a kid that comes from nowhere, basically. So just being able to have that mentality of betting on myself and whoever's in front of me or whoever's behind me. At the end of the day, they're gonna have to say that kid was playing. So just being able to have that mentality and bring it with me and stay true to myself throughout my 3 years there, I think was huge. KJ is going to be special. It's not going to be too long. He's going to be sitting in his seat, so I'm excited to see what he does. Just the winning culture they got there, man. I mean, it's special. And like I said earlier, like they do things the right way, and just being able to come into a building and learn from the guys they have there. I think that's what I'm most excited about, and I'm just ready to get to it.
Malaki, the San Francisco 49ers drafted one of your teammates, Michael Williams. What can you tell 49er fans and what they're getting in Michael?
Michael's that guy. He's special, man. And the 49ers saw it in him, and you can expect, the same things he was doing at the University of Georgia. I mean, he's going to come to work every day, and he's going to, stay true to himself, and he's going to compete at the end of the day at the highest level. So that's what you can expect from him.
Malaki, what is it going to be like phone call, right? When you got that call, what your emotions were like, and what you were feeling at that time?
Yeah, I was actually about to play Uno.
That's fantastic.
I brought it with me because I didn't know if it was going to be a short night or a long night, and I was just trying to stay calm. And I come from a very, very competitive household, so like when Uno cards come out, everybody just forget what's going on. So I was literally just about to go grab the cards, and I got the call, and I was excited. Like I said earlier, just the culture they have there. Coming from a winning program and going to another one, just learning from the vets and how to do things. I'm ready to get there and just learn.
Malaki, what is it going to be like playing with a safety like Kyle Hamilton and some other quarterbacks like Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins? How does that make your life easier? What are you looking to learning from those guys?
Yeah, I think those are all elite guys. So just like I said earlier, being able to learn, pick up, details, really learn how they were able to become so elite and, kind of piggyback off of that and add it to my game. I think being able to come into a program like this who has such a winning culture and, who do things the right way, I think it fits my culture as well. And I just want to come in and play my part and, earn the respect for the team that drafted me.
Malaki.
What does this mean to you and your family, this moment?
It's huge. I've never been to Baltimore. I'm excited. My mom's been crying all day. As soon as she woke up, she couldn't stop crying. So just to be able to accomplish this dream, because we've been through a lot as a family, and they sacrificed a lot for me to be where I'm at now, and just being able to, just be in this moment. Give that hug to my mom and my dad and my fiance was, always a dream. So I mean, it's just huge for my family.
Malaki, you mentioned that you come from a competitive family, and obviously Georgia is competitive. Has there ever been any family fights over a game of Monopoly?
There's been family fights over any game. We got into one last night. We were playing Uno at the hotel, and my mom said I was cheating. She just kept losing. So, No, it gets competitive, but you know that's just how they raised us. And at the end of the day, and it translates to, you know, not just, you know, in our family, but life as well. You know, you got to compete for everything that you earn, and it's just fell over me and my sister, and we're grateful.
Go Dogs.
I think just being myself, staying true to myself. I think, you know, coming in and like I said, just learning from the guys who've been doing it for so long. You know, I'm young, I don't have all the answers, but you know, those guys do. So just being able to, you know, be a sponge and watch film and really, you know, dive into the whole process of being a Raven, I'm ready. How to be a Raven. You know, different organizations have different things of doing stuff, and I kind of saw that when I first got to the University of Georgia. They did things a different way, and you know, every organization is different. So just being able to really dive into what it means to be a Raven, I want to take that, and I want to, you know, I want to wear that proudly on my chest and on my back, and I want to reflect the organization in a good way. I think just how to study the game of ball, and you know, like what it really means. I think coming in as a freshman, you think, you know, football until you get there, and then, you know, you get hit in the face and you realize like what it really means to learn football. And then, you know, like you play with a bunch of guys who've been in the league who have that type of talent. So just being able to have those opportunities to play with guys who've in the league now, who are going in the league and who have that talent, and just see what it looks like and how to navigate and how to move through those types of defenses, and you know, communicate and at a high level and learn and, you know, move around and attack the ball. I think those have all been things that he's taught me. Yeah, I think you know, in high school we had a good group of guys who could play, but I was playing offense and defense, so I think, you know, that really helped with my skills. You know, just attacking the ball. I think that really comes from my offensive side of the ball, just being comfortable with my back to the ball, but also, you know, going to get it in the air as well. So I think it's translated from in a very good way. Troy Polamalu was my favorite safety. It's funny. I watched like a lot of YouTube when I was a kid, so like just hearing about people's stories and backgrounds, and I remember, you know, watching Ray Lewis and him tell his story, and just watching the way that he played football. I mean, it's special. So, you know, a lot of elite guys who the elite of the elite, who I watched growing up, and you know, those are the guys who I want to learn from, and I want to, you know, show respect to the guys that came before me. It's gonna be fun. I'm ready. You know, also to learn from a guy like that as well. You know, he's the elite of the elite. So just to learn from a guy like that, and be able to, you know, just kind of sit there and be a sponge, from a guy who knows so much ball, who's so talented, can only help elevate my game, and I'm ready to get to work and honestly just learn. Thank y'all.